Hello!
Step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like toy soldiers, as that great 1980s poetess Tiffany said. No, hang on, it wasn't Tiffany, it was Martika, wasn't it? Oh, I don't bloody know, I'm trying to reference crap old 80s songs. Let's look at some toys instead. It's an odd thing, this. Whenever I do these knock-off G.I. Joe figures stroke crappy soldiers, a lot of people moan and whine about it, and yet they are the most submitted thing to the mighty P.O. box. Strange, isn't it? And look, this one's an everyday bargain. It says it was $2.50 from the Americas somewhere. Doesn't sound like a bargain when you look at these figures. Force, it says, with a completely ripped-off G.I. Joe picture, so we know where they're coming from. It's a military figurine set, apparently, and on the back there's virtually nothing except a barcode. How exciting. Come on then, let's meet the team and see what's what. And oh my god, he hasn't got any eyes! Why doesn't he have any eyes? Eyes! This is the Lookout. Looky Charlie. He uses his Daredevil style audio sonar skills to, I don't know, good lord, he's cheap. He's got screws visible in his back, very lightweight plastic. The paint is crazy, frankly. Look at this in his hands, it's all missing and horrible. And he hasn't got any eyes! Maybe he's just got like a stockingette over his face. He's just robbed a bank. I don't know. Fortunately, he has got this giant gun, which he can sort of stick in his hand. No, he when he held his gun, his fingers snapped off. That's the sort of quality we're dealing with, people. Why doesn't he have any eyes? Oh, get rid of him. Right, let's have a look at Choking Hazard, who is the sergeant and commander of this team, I have decided. He comes with a mobile phone to call his mum for help when anything goes wrong. That's why he's in charge. He's got a really good pay-as-you-go thing set up. At least he's got some eyes and a terrifying unibrow. I think it might be Mr. Spock, actually. Sort of an olive drab thing going on, and yeah, still as cheap as all monkeys. Can he hold his phone in his hand? Yes! Dun 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 dun! But he can't hold it up to his ear, really. Mum, Mum, I can't hear you. Mum, there's this man and he's shooting at me, Mum. Mum, can Dad pick me up? Yes, that's why he's in charge. Next is Leakface the Mighty, so called because his face is leaking out all over his helmet. He's got some sort of super high-tech helmet thing going on there. Looks the most G.I. Joe rip-offy, I think, possibly from the Steel Brigade days, except he's in a nicer colour. And yeah, his skin is also leaked out over his gloves, and basically he's melting. This is his special power. When something bad happens and the bad guys come, he melts and dies in horrific agony. That'll sort him out. Also, his accessory is a pair of handcuffs, a pair of giant handcuffs, too big for wrists. They're ankle cuffs. Yep, he's been reading 50 Shades of Grey and wants to practice it out before he melts entirely. And finally, it's Cyclops from the X-Men, I think. Maybe. Cyclops from the from the horrifying, nightmare-inducing X-Men with weird blobby faces, and oh my goodness, the paint is so thickly slathered on this one, it's actually closed all his hand off. But yeah, there's sort of a sunglasses and hair thing going on. I think it's very hard to say, actually. Here's a really close look at that for you, just to stop any ideas of sleeping you might have. Further accessories include this pistol. Well, he's obviously not going to be able to hold that because his hand's ridiculous. Yeah, it's quite a nicely moulded one as compared to the rest, as opposed to this ridiculous laser rifle thing. And a pair of binoculars. Obviously, the binoculars go to the Lookout. Here you are, mate. You can hold those there. Now your fingers are broken. Why doesn't he have any eyes? Anyway, let's move on to the next thing, shall we? Something a little bit more high quality with Elite Force. Collect all styles. You must collect all styles or your family will be burned. 3+ ages on the sheriff's badge there. Don't quite know what that's about. 4-inch articulated action figure with equipment and weapons. Weapons are no longer equipment. And here it is again in French, if you are that way inclined. Basically, I think it's Sloth from the Goonies, not entirely sure. Yeah, it just says the same on the back, with collect all styles and an angry World War II German by the looks of it. Right, come on then. Let's see if we want to collect all styles or collect no styles whatsoever. If we can collect Ryan Styles, who I think is a Canadian comedian. Come on. Ugh. Here we go. Well, he's articulated and made of rubber. It's Plastic Man. No, it isn't. It's definitely Sloth from the Goonies. Look. Hi, I'm Sloth. I'd just like to mention that Sloth love chunk. Thanks for coming out. Ooh, Baby Ruth bar. In fact, Babe Ruth bars may in fact be in here. I don't know, is it Babe Ruth or Baby Ruth Buzz? No, Babe Ruth was the baseball player. Baby Ruth is the chocolate thing, isn't it, I think? Anyway, I think these are supposed to be sandbags. They do look more like, well, just parcels of something that's been delivered. Can't quite get over the wavy legs here. That is pretty rubbery. Well, we've got some articulation going on, and some amazingly slopped paint. Some articulation, can't really bend the legs. Oh man, these are so cheap. And yeah, just look at the face. A face only a mother could love. Sadly, not his mother. She was like some gangster psycho from the Goonies film, if I remember. He's got a giant shotgun that nothing could hold, let alone fire. It's big on his leg. He's got some ridiculous submachine gun that, again, is completely out of scale. He's got a giant mag-light-style torch. I might be able to hold that. There we are. Now you can go and bang people on the head with that. That's about the only useful thing you can do. Some extra bullets and or energy drinks, and a big knife he can't possibly hold. Well, that's marvellous, dearie me. And the next one's even uglier. I mean, good grief, look at the face on this, crying out loud. I mean, who in the entire world would have facial hair as ridiculous as, oh my god, it's me? That's a bit frightening. Oh, and it smells of... oh man, if you thought the other one was soft rubber... I cannot do this in real life. Yes, anyway, this is me from the time when I was in the military and was made to carry a gun as big as I am and part of a fucking wall for some reason. Yeah, that sounds about right. Your job is to carry this small piece of wall which has been made out of chocolate bars. Ah, look. See, he's opened it up, got the chocolate bars out of there, and he's made a wall from them. That's something to do, and it's all the same weapons as last time, just with a bit of wall. Yeah, I look a bit sort of shocked. I don't know. Slightly worried by what's been going on in the world. Mind you probably would be if you're in a bloody war zone, wouldn't you? I can kind of do that. Can't do that with my legs, though. Deary me. I also like the way the arms and legs are completely different colour to the body. They're not even trying. Also, he's not very camouflaged, is he? He's camouflaged for the desert and the forest simultaneously, meaning he's not effectively camouflaged for either. Oh well, off I go. Hello! What's next? Yes, this is apparently me looking a bit sad after I've dyed my hair red for some reason. Back with these sandbags on that one. And finally, a firefighter. Because, you know, firefighters and breathing apparatus are very useful on elite force missions, as we all know. Chocolate bar wall. Not quite sure what to make of that. I imagine his name is Mumbles, because whenever you ask him anything, quickly, get over here! It's like, anyway, we can't get any more ridiculous than that. He lied. He's a giant zombie purple-skinned soldier with loads of small soldiers that are set to start... What the flippin' heck is the idea behind this? Combat Force Army playset, right. Army playset, soldiers of different factions, that makes sense. Giant zombie doesn't make sense. What sort of army situation is this in? Fantastic. Oh, well, let's have a look, shall we? Here is Zombie Man. Look at it. Like something from a 50s B movie. This soldier has been made giant by radioactive paste, or whatever. Comes with a giant hand grenade. And even though he's a giant, he's got a gun bigger than he is. What? What? Why can't they ever make guns that actually fit in their hands, or at least vaguely the right scale? So what is that weird part number on it? Maybe that's the start of an exciting puzzle. I doubt it. He's got white splodges over himself, where he's dripped yoghurt while he was eating it. And he's got some weird hooting monkey face going on. The skin, I don't know if this is going to come out well on the camcorder, but is a light purple colour. So he's been dead for some time. Actually, most of his skin appears to be green, and his hair is green. He's just sort of slathered himself in purple mud, I think, in order to stomp on the tiny soldiers. Who have we got? Oh, they're all the same on either side. Look, that's disappointing. Although the faces will focus. Okay, I'm regretting focusing now. Just look at it. It's like some sort of Aztec carving that's come to life and formed a military. And there are lots of them, and they're all the bloody same. Oh no, here's a different one. What's this one? Oh, he's got a bit of a sort of pretty boy action hero look about in this one. Hey. Also got no weapons. That's a bit of a problem. He appears to have a small carton of eggs. He's never been in a war before, and I very much doubt he'll make it through this one. Who else have we got? Oh my good God! Look at this! What's happened to his face, man? His whole head has been entirely squeezed. Even the camera doesn't want to keep focus on it. Look at it. It's like something out of a Junji Ito comic. Oh dear, there's a sprue hanging off him. Oh, real quality, this one. And again, no weapons. It's just been shot. Look, he's had his head crushed by something and is falling to the ground, dying. Looks a bit like a sort of undead Chuck Norris. Maybe that's how he eventually dies. His head squeezes. And no, that's not very likely, actually. Yeah, and his head is squeezed on all the different versions of him, which is nice. We've got this person thought to bring a gun. Sadly, he completely forgot to bring anything that vaguely corresponds to human proportions. I would guess that his nickname is Slim. He's like that bloke who got flattened and disappeared to the wall in Beetlejuice. Also, his gun is not shaped anything like a gun, doesn't look like a gun. I think he made it himself out of matchboxes. Deary me. Here's a green soldier with a deformed head and one arm. Oh dear. I thought the big soldier was a zombie, but I think actually they're all zombies. Particularly this one. Anything else different? No, it's all bazooka on the shoulder boys and one of those. Oh, here's what his other hand looks like. He's got a grenade in it. I think we can guess what happened here. Nobody told him that grenades go off after 11 seconds or so if you don't throw them. He found out the hard way. Oh well, that was an exciting foray into the world of abject horror and really badly made toys, wasn't it? Shall we look at another one? Answer, yes. I like this one because it comes in a posh box with a carrying handle there. And the carrying handle says, Toys OK Toys on it. Nice. In the future, a ruler. Do you know, I've been thinking that myself a lot recently. US Defender Combat Control Team. In the future, a ruler. Come into the market. Warrior, 0 hour. English we not speak. This costs 15 somethings. It will not be dollars or pounds, I doubt. I think this came from far, far overseas. He's got a sort of Mr. Spock. Look to him, the bloke. Look, quite know what's going on there. Controls the world destiny. Oh, look. Hong Kong, by the looks of it, on that sticker. Perhaps that's where it came from. Crawling force. Yes, that's the best force. Crawl with my knees, elbows, and my twisting waist. My rifle shoot with light and sound. Inserts 2 AA batteries, not included. Switch here, on his knees. And he then crawls across the floor and makes noises. This is apparently the second variety of this. Well, this sad onion's a bit strange. Look, 0 to 3 ghost onions on that one. Well, anything more weird written on the side? Army Combat Temicles controls the world destiny coming into the... I don't know, that's really odd. Okay, so let's see what's in this set then. Let's break him out of his blister pack here. And here's what he comes with. Himself. Oh, he looks very intense. I think he may be a sniper. Not sure from that rifle, actually. Probably not. He's really cheap and hollow plastic, as you can probably guess. And amusingly, you can make it look like he dances if you do that. Well, that's something. I just realised he's got the same colour skin as his uniform. That must have been handy. And he's got this small puppy, which comes with him, because that's really useful. If you're going into a combat zone and trying to not be shot by the enemy, you really want an excitable puppy with you. Look at it, it's tiny! Why? Why has he been issued a small dog? I don't know. Maybe his wife's away for the weekend and didn't have anyone to look after it. He's also got these other weapons he has no hope of holding because all his arms are moulded around that one. Silenced pistol, pointless ammo, grenades, binoculars, assault rifle, and child-size handcuffs. Maybe they are actually his size handcuffs and they go around his waist. Oh, I'd just like to point out, by the way, look, he's got a hole chipped in him where you can see all his internal cogs. That's nice. War is hell. My favourite thing, though, is that A, the handcuffs don't open, and B, they've got handcuffs written on them 4 times, just in case you didn't know. Well, that's fun. I tell you what, let's go and see what this thing looks like crawling across the floor, shall we? Well, that went pretty much as expected. Right, here comes the troop tube. Cylinder de troop. That'll be French then. Oh, that one's broken his neck already. Hasn't even seen combat yet. Yep, these ones are in a tube, and that combat force is their only redeeming feature. Can I open this? Yes, I can. Out you come from the tube, you 4 super soldiers of, oh my giddy aunt. Wow, in order to reduce plastic costs, they've got big holes in them. These are really grotesque. And again, very bad on the whole paint scale. Well, this here, with his, again, giant, is that not... Look, that's exactly the same as the one that came with the crawling soldier. A completely different size of set, came from a completely different country. These were, I said EU on the thing, actually. And yet, all the pieces are the same, a gun he can't hold. I don't even like touching this. This is really cheap plastic and not very nice. But hey, I'll bet he's happy with his hat. Well, I don't know what I can say about this, aside from the fact that if you were to take his sunglasses off, it would probably destroy the world. Who else have we got? Again, gun that can't be used on man with different hat. He looks a bit Charlie Sheen, this one. Winning, tiger blood, Adonis DNA, monkey tea kettle barbecue. There we are. That was a small breakdown for all of you watchers there. Blimey. I don't know what would his military speciality be? Having lots of brightly coloured chrome objects attached to his chest. That's always useful. Interestingly, this is the first figure that has actually picked up the face recognition on the camera. I don't know why. And the other 2 figures are the bloody same. Oh man, that's the worst tube of troops I have ever seen, and I've seen a few in my time, believe me. Right, it's time to have a look at one of the old parachuting figures. You gotta love these. Paratrooper, Soldier Force, bonus, launching slingshot included. Which you probably wouldn't want, you just want to drop it off something tall. Real working power, yes, we've all seen these. Let's not get into that. Yes, we know how it works. Yes, that's how you do it wrong. Smash your thumbnail with a bit of cheap plastic. Well, this is interesting. It's our first female soldier, and I think it's based on some sort of moulding taken from a G.I. Joe sort of Valor versus Venom era figure, I think. Not entirely sure. What I am sure about is that it has the worst paint imaginable, except for all the others we've seen today. Yeah, she's showing off her muscles. No, she isn't. She's holding onto the parachute, and, got a bit of a problem in the back there. She's been hollowed out and has had a nail put in her back. That's a really evil thing to do to an enemy combatant. But hey, at least she's camouflaged, or is that just sauce all over her? I've got no idea. Yeah, there's something a little bit frightening about that. I think it's the tiny, tiny pupils and the fact that her face has been painted on. It's like a weird statue somebody started to paint and then gave up on. Actually, that's probably not that far from the truth, is it? Anyway, let's get back into bad bloke territory with a 2-pack of American heroes. Man, these look the highest quality thing so far by a factor of 8 million. These were $1.99, regular price was $3.99, sale price was $2.99. It's confusing, and he looks a bit like a sort of Solid Snake rip-off. Military figures with accessories, we had worked that out. Nothing on the back, and it's for ages 3 and 5, as it should be. Right, what's going on here then? I wonder where he came from. I've got no idea. If only we could work out the country of origin via some method, but we'll just never know, I suppose. Right, well, higher quality plastic, the others are still pretty bad. Articulation actually works. Head is moulded out of, flesh-coloured plastic, so it looks a lot better. This is like 1,000 times better than the others. Still a load of crap as compared to like a proper figure. This one appears to be based on Flint from G.I. Joe, I would have said. Again, he's got a sort of weird square bulky body thing going on, but there's a far and away the best thing we've looked at today. Can they hold their weapons? Let's check. Weapon for user. I think we'd hold that bit. Yes! Weapon for user. I don't know. That one maybe? Yeah. Hooray! You win an infinite number of coins. Well done. Less well done is this inexplicable massive laser rifle they come with. What's that about? Do they have that left over from something else? I know, stick on the end of the particle accelerator and the handle. That'll sort the military out. Brilliant. Oh well, that's the end of that then, except for, God, there's always more, combat soldiers. Soldats. That's foreign for soldiers. 2-pack. Yes, we had noticed, by the way, that there are 2 of them. Well, this is an odd thing. Completely different look and scale to the others. They've got a sort of, well, just green, dry brushed in much lighter green going on, with just the visor and the face to tell them apart. Oh my goodness. Let's look. Ugh. I haven't noticed this before. That is one seriously creepy face he's got on him there. He's just discovered the horror of war for the first time. Or maybe he's about to be killed and has just realised. Maybe both these things. Either are possible with a face like that. Oh, only the arms are articulated. Very cheap hollow plastic as well. Well, that's a shame. These looked much higher quality in the box, but basically they just wave their arms a bit. And even the guns are sort of this weird dry brushed green thing. I don't really understand that. Well, let's have a look at the other one. He made the sensible move of covering up his face so he looks cooler. Less sensible move of not being careful when he was decorating. Is that a gas mask? I think it probably is. Yes, it is. Oh my god, that actually kind of makes sense. Quite a cool looking helmet, actually. Yeah, that's one of the best looking figures today, I think. It's a pity it's almost completely non-articulated and the paint scheme is the laziest thing conceivable. Oh well, there we go. His military speciality is sandwiches of all kinds. And that's how he got to be a combat soldier. Whereas this one's speciality is just making a little weird noise in the back of his throat constantly, hence the face. He thinks if he does it enough, the enemy will just give up and go home. But in fact, it's just us who do.